Welcome to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host. Here's our format. A bunch of guys sitting around a bar, there's no bar, having drinks, there's no drinks either. But we're talking business, and you, the audience, are listening in. The Best of Investing is actually a radio show that has been around since August 2010, and it airs every Saturday on Fox News Radio, 9:10 a.m. at 1 p.m. Now, we're not a political show. We're strictly business, so everyone will be happy with that. We'll have various speakers, guest speakers, attorneys, accountants, economic advisors. But the cool thing about this is that you're actually getting to see scenes behind the scenes. So we all have headphones on because we're recording a radio show that is going to be airing on the air on radio. But in addition, you get to see what happens during the commercial breaks, how we prepare for the next segment. So it's a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of levity because I like to try to throw a little bit of humor in there because, you know, just business by itself sometimes gets a little boring. So you got to always kind of break things. Remember, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. Are you ready? Let's go.
It's locked in. He's locked in.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm just trying to get some
So
extra
I
row
always
here.
have to say, yeah, it's a great idea, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, give me some more.
Welcome. You're listening to the Best of Investing on News Talk 910. Always relevant and sometimes irreverent. We here present the valuable information about real estate, the financial markets, and other economic business of the day for those of you listening for the first time. Imagine a few guys sitting around a bar having drinks without the drinks, darn it, talking business with you, the audience, listening in. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm honored to have as my co-host Mark Hanf of Pacific Private Money, California's premier private lender. You're also a lender, aren't you?
Yeah, easier for you to say.
Yeah, it is. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Write that number down, 888-912-1190, because you're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations given away during each commercial break. That's right, we're giving away 9 vacations during this show. Today's trivia theme is the old Addams Family. Remember that?
Of course,
Okay.
I saw all those.
I was more of a Munsters fan, but that's okay. And today's special guest is Robert Schiff, who is a mortgage broker and has been since 1994. Prior to becoming a mortgage broker, Robert was a real estate agent, and he has over 30 years of experience buying, remodeling, and selling houses. And before we actually get into saying hello to you, I wanted to come up with this interesting fact here that the cruise ship disaster that just happened, how much do you think it's going to cost the cruise industry? Take a guess.
Oh, in terms of notoriety, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, with the pictures that everyone's seen of the ship, like half.
That
half,
is
I don't think
a
they
great
should,
picture.
Isn't that a great picture? I
Scary,
would suggest
but-
that they put that on their brochures.
I don't think they
I don't think so.
accept that.
They wouldn't accept that. Okay,
advice, no.
take a guess as to how much you think it's going to cost. Though.
I would guess
probably the millions.
hundreds of millions.
Exactly.
Really?
Do you remember a few years ago with Tiger Woods and the old infidelity thing?
Mm-hmm.
They figured that cost golf $1 billion.
You don't
Wow.
say.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I wonder if someone's going to sue Tiger on that, but you know, I guess you can't kind of do that sort of thing. So
He wasn't on that cruise now, was he?
No, yeah, not that I know of. Okay, Robert Schiff. We've got a lot of great questions for you, and I think Mark.
Great real estate.
Actually,
show.
I've got the first one here.
You do.
Okay, how can I determine if I am eligible to refinance my house? With my house being worth less than it was several years ago.
That is.
So
good
that's
question.
a really good question, and it really is pertinent to so many people. Basically, anybody that either bought their house, I'd say, in the last 5 years, or refinanced it within the last 5 years and got a large chunk of their equity out, is now facing, even in the Bay Area, probably being, it's called upside down, where they possibly owe more than the current value of the house. And conventional lending hasn't allowed borrowers to get those loans, but there are some government programs that there's been a lot of hoopla about that would allow a bunch of those people to refinance and potentially lower their payments so they would be more likely to stay in the house.
Okay, well, you kind of jumped ahead on one of those questions, but that's okay.
Well, that's actually. We keep seeing those in the newspapers almost on a regular basis. They keep talking about these proposed government programs. Is there anything actually been approved, that's going to be enacted, that might help people that are underwater?
Well, the programs that are coming online now are the second generation, so there's already been one generation of programs available.
Did it actually work though? I didn't
Yeah,
actually
I
hear
heard
that
all these
anybody
people-
that,
Compared to the projections,
Yeah.
they made it sound like it was going to take care of millions of people.
right.
And the fine lines, when you got down to it, there were little stipulations and footnotes that said, well, you had to have not gotten a loan after a certain date in 2009, or, I mean, I've unofficially helped people try to get through these programs, and the lenders don't seem to really want to help people in the programs. That's been my experience.
Did they not get anything out of it?
People in the industry are talking, and they can't figure out why. For instance, I have a client of mine who I'm just trying to help, and they own a house in Fairfield. They owe $300,000 on it.
Okay.
The house is worth about $175,000.
Okay, so they're upside down.
They're upside
Quite a lot,
down, and they've
significantly.
stopped their payments. And I'm trying to work with them, with the bank, to modify. And I'm telling the bank, these people don't want to leave the house. They're willing to pay. Why don't you lower the interest rate from 6% to something more reasonable, like it is now, 4%, and maybe lower the loan to $250,000? Then you'll have a performing loan that's more than the value of the house. And if you don't, the people will stop paying. You'll foreclose on them at a great expense to yourself. You'll have to list it for sale. At that time,
Yeah, but Robert, you're talking logic.
Yeah,
they're
that-
talking
that makes
logic to a
perfect
bank.
sense.
but it's bankers, and there must be some way that we're not aware of that when they foreclose, they get reimbursed by some part of the federal government.
They must, because I remember back in 2008 when this whole thing was starting to unfold, we had people who were, maybe they were immigrants, they were legal immigrants, and they'd have maybe two families who owned the house together, and they wanted to stay in the house. But when interest rates had gone up, it made it cost prohibitive. And even though they were upside down, they said, listen, we still want to pay our mortgage payment, but we just can't pay what the new payment is. I mean, it gets kind of ridiculous.
Well, and this has been the
Thinking.
problem all, for the last couple of years, is that the complaints that, the Obama administration has put forth these loan modification programs and supposedly provided incentives to banks to work with borrowers, but anecdotally, and Robert, here's just another example, I'm just not hearing a lot of success, and it's amazing because your example makes perfect sense. If they take that property back, they're not even going to get the 175 that it's
That's
worth,
right.
because after the holding costs and the legal and et cetera, they'll be lucky to put $100,000 in their pocket.
Well, especially when people find out it's bank owned.
Sure.
Automatically, they'll reduce it. So, what did you get successful on that, or is that still being work in progress?
It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, well, it takes a long time to go
I've
through the
been
channels.
successful with one client, and unfortunately, after the modification program went through and they were starting, he died. So that's been my record. It
That
hasn't
was a little
happened.
inconvenient. I wonder if that was
Yes.
the cause of it. It could be in many cases.
So Robert, we've got these super low interest rates, and how is refi activity? Is it? I know it was quite busy a year ago. I know a number of agents like yourself in the market who were doing gangbusters there for a while. I mean, how's the activity now that we're going into 2012?
Well, right now the rates are maybe not this minute, but within the past week or so, they're lower than they've ever been.
Right, they're in the threes now. Is that correct?
They're in the threes. It's even there's some 10-year loans that are under 3%. Some
we hear
government
those.
programs.
Hear those
Wow.
radio ads.
Yeah, and they're real loans.
Are any points on that?
No, everything
Wow.
that they quote pretty much is without points.
Is there much volume on that, though? I guess that was my question. Is that are there many people who are qualifying for those? Especially, if you've got a
That's a good
significant percentage of the population that's underwater, and then you've got the other issue. Do I qualify? Do you have a high FICO score? Can you
Well, what's the
verify your
LTV?
income? What's the
Right?
loan to value? I mean,
Yeah.
how much of that activity is actually happening?
The loan procedure is very medical now. They really look at everything.
Wait, no more
every piece of
115% loan to value loans?
No, someone called me the other day and said, I'd like to refinance, and I said, what's your job? He said, I'm unemployed, and I asked if he still had a TV and watched the news at all, because So, I mean, it's amazing to me.
There's
that
no more
something
stated
like
income
that-
loans, as I
There
understand. Is that
actually are a few that are stated. Someone
really?
just told me a local bank in Marin is doing seconds that are stated income, but
On a second?
on a second.
What are the rates?
mortgage, just prime plus 1 or 2. So
Whoa, what kind of LTV?
they'll go up to 75%. So,
But it doesn't
there
matter
may
how big the
there
first
may
is?
be catches once you get into it that you have to deposit a large, become a client of the bank for all your other resources. I'm not sure of the particulars.
Yeah, if you need a $100,000 loan, you have to deposit $125,000 in a CD.
Yes, I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's not that
but,
bad. I'm
But
just
generally, no, that the stipulations for getting a loan are much harder than they've been. It's a reaction to the just fog the mirror and get a loan that we all went through, and
Sure.
it's sort
That's what
of
we used
where
to
we
say.
are
Fog the
now.
mirror.
But as someone said to me a couple months ago, if you look back in the 60s and the 70s, especially the 60s, your choice was to go to a bank and get a 30-year fixed loan, and it was 2 points plus $250, and you had to show your taxes and qualify. And so that's the way it had been for decades, and we tend to forget that that was the basis of real estate
But
financing.
then people got, I don't want to say smart, but I guess opportunistic and said, well, if I can package a whole bunch of these loans together and sell them on the secondary market and blah, 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 blah. Okay, we are going to go to our first commercial break. And remember, the theme is the old TV show, The Addams Family. What is the name of the hand that helps everyone around the house? Remember, the theme is the Addams Family. The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Check them out. The weather's going to start getting good here in a couple of months. You're going to want to visit them. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. What is the name of the hand that helps everyone around the house on the Addams Family? 888-912-1190. Make sure you include your name, address, email address, and phone number, and speak slowly and spell it out, please, when you call. And we will be right back. Here's segment number 1.
All right. Well, that's an
Right.
easy one. So,
Yeah.
which program was Lurch on? Was that
Yeah.
that Addams Family or
Yes.
the Munsters?
No,
That was
Adams.
Adams.
I like that. Do that. Do that.
How do
I like
you,
that. First time I asked the question.
How do
And
you decide the questions and find the answers?
He's just has to get creative.
Secret. the next
The secret sauce.
The next trivia question is going to be. Next trivia question is going to. Oh yeah, headsets off. Yeah, because this is. It's,
All right. All right.
next trivia question is going to be, what's my favorite color? Green. I mean blue. Right. Here you go. Welcome. You're listening to the Best of Investing on News Talk 910. This is the show where we present valuable information about real estate, the financial markets, and other economic business of the day. For those of you listening for the first time, here's our format. A few guys sitting around a bar having drinks without the drinks, talking business with you, the audience listening in. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm pleased to have as my co-host Mark Hoff of Pacific Private Money, California's fastest growing private lender, and Robert Schiff of RPM Mortgage. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Now write that number down, 888-912-1190, because you're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations given away during each commercial break. That's right, we're giving away 9 vacations during this show. And today's trivia theme is TV show spin-offs. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Our website is bestofinvesting.com. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube by typing Best of Investing Radio Show. We're also on television, Comcast Channel 26 on Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 6 p.m. Now today's guest is very special. Why? Because he is, that's why. His name is Lou Botmal, and he is an investment advisor. And I asked Lou to come on the show as we've received emails from people who are asking certain questions that he is best able to answer. Lou, welcome to the Best of Investing.
Thanks, it's great to be here. I'm happy to be a guest.
Excellent. Okay, now let's.
We're happy to have you.
So far,
So
far.
far, yeah.
Just wait.
Well, yeah, that's right. We'll see how you do later
So,
on.
good day in the market that you're here too.
That's right. Yeah, the market was up quite a bit today.
Now, why was it up? Is it up because of Obamacare passed,
There's
or
more buyers than sellers. That's what my dad used to say.
No,
what are they so happy about anyway on this Friday?
Spain and Italy are in the World Cup, and one of them will win, and then that the economy and that country will be good. So
See,
everything's
my uncle's
fine
from
in Europe.
Germany. Is
Okay,
really
well, hold on.
upset
Let's
about
let our
yesterday.
guest speak.
Well, no, to your point, I think didn't Germany beat Greece in soccer? Wasn't that the big story? And they're like, oh, we're going to own
yes.
you in soccer and own your country. So it's like a double whammy. It's like total domination. No, we had a lot of interesting stuff that went on this week. I think, frankly, everyone's tired of the up 100 points, down 100 points every single day. We had a
Tell
nice
me about
rally on Friday, and a lot of it had to do with Obamacare getting passed. People like to know what's going to happen. The undercurrent of the market really is right now, I think, three big things. Predominantly, that is, who's going to be the next president. Everyone has their opinion. The debt ceiling debate, which comes up again, which was here last summer. If you guys remember, that's when we had the big sell-off. And then, of course, all the tax legislation that everyone keeps talking about on all the TV stations that, we really need to know what to do. And companies don't know what to do. Companies are paralyzed or frozen going, if I make this decision, how's tax policy going to affect me? How am I going to hire people with the tax policy that could have a huge payroll tax increase? They could have huge capital gains taxes, overseas taxes, all these things. I mean, taxes are driving our economy right now. So what we did find out is, one, the Obamacare situation is settled for stabilized and will be legislated, probably down the road. And then more importantly, the EU, as you mentioned, came through and said, hey, we're going to, stabilize things. Spanish yields dropped. You guys are in the mortgage industry and finance. Popularity drives the price of bonds. We can talk about it later on, but really when you see these Spanish yields go down, it means everyone starts buying their bonds again. They're going to be in business. That's really the...
Is that anything like Spanish fly?
Oh, man.
Mark.
Well, we're all on our way to
Family show,
Tijuana.
people. Family show.
Okay. Yeah, red Solo Cups aren't a family show. I don't want to say, but... Yeah.
One of the reasons we wanted to have you on also was we've been receiving emails from people who are asking what a 529 plan is. And I know it's not a signal for football hike, So can you explain what is a 529 plan?
520 plan, it's, let's keep it simple. It's a way to save for college on a tax-deferred basis. The greatest benefit that we've seen out of financial product probably in the last 20 years is the fact that if you use that money to pay for a college expense,